Renata comes in very obviously.
Yeah, I want to say Kalista, or sorry, not Kalista, the Syndra is 0-2 so far here at the LCK Cup. We saw it almost win, I believe it was even yesterday.
Voice over and over again. The team that really has made the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wise. I feel like they prepped this, you know, and every other team, not every other team, but a lot of other teams are just simply not utilizing it, which is fair because every team has their own style. But when you have this added benefit, if you prep it well and you don't overdo it,
picks it up, and Vaultbreaker gets him out of the Cataclysm as well. Now Doran looking to try and close this one in. There is, oh no! Delivers him over the cease and desist, comes down, they're looking to try and kill Doran, and they do manage to take him out. First blood over to Willa, as now Ona desperately trying to pick it up, and he will be able to at least get rid of the enemy jungler, as body slam avoided with a swift flash from Ona, and between worlds goes Faker to get out of the way of UCAL.
got the scatter out with the bait.
And now T1 looking for an angle here. Handshake onto Willa is going to miss. The Fate's Call also kind of goes wide here as now Pay's in a bit of trouble, but Faker makes his way over. Cease and Assist comes in. The bailout is successful, but it's Gio that takes him down in the end. And Andil, not long for the world. That is Faker collecting that kill. It's a double for the GOAT. And T1 well and truly on the board now.
Even if T1 hit all those things, the result ends up being a lot more clean for them, but doesn't matter when Faker just shows up and he's like, thank you for
the Drake, but it is going to reset.
Gio gets this wave pushed in. He can actually kind of sandwich with his ultimate. T1 have to back away. They're going to lose scuttle control here as well in just a moment.
Don't know about this from Gio, as he does move into this crush. Willa gets on top, though. Cease and Assist once again, as Pay's not going to get bailed out this time. Handshake comes forward as Gio just trying to stand his ground. The flash has to be used from Ona to get himself out of the way, as Andil is going to hold him in position, and down goes the Jarvan. Well, out goes the Jarvan for the moment, and is going to dodge a bunch of abilities before he is inevitably dead. There it is. UCAL locks down that kill.
Team fights are great. His early skirmishing has been phenomenal this season, as this is a very aggressive little look in. I don't even want to call it contest from T1.
Yeah, FaZe is going to move on forward. There's between worlds. Is Andil going to be the target? He is taken out. Faker very low on mana, but Willa is looking to try and catch up to him. Let's see whether they can get that one done, as UCAL is already dead. Out goes Willa, but in goes Gio, and Faker is going to survive. A couple of swift kills here for T1 in trade for the Dragon.
All right, well, it ends up being a real contest in the end. Not able to get the objective, as you say, but some money is definitely feeling pretty nice for them. They'll take a 700 gold lead. Rich, maybe some more money.
Yeah, he does have flash, does use it, and dies. No more coach voice here for DRX, I believe. Using all of them very, very quickly here, as Willa wanting to chase down Doran. Let's see whether he does connect that Vault Breaker, and he will. Cease and Desist is up in 7 seconds time, but I don't think he will need it, as Doran is just dead, punched to the face.
And T1 trying to contest here in this choke. UCAL can control so much space.
And Andil is just trying to hold them at bay here. Not providing himself as a target, but always getting information where he can. Teleport in for the Gwen, as now Pays just dashing around the fight here. Tries to get a few sticks into Andil.
Rich just wasn't involved at all, just hit himself.
Well, Faker goes between the worlds. Flash out from UCAL, respecting the damage potential of this Aurora. As now Gio possibly in trouble, throws down the barrier to try and keep himself up. As now Willa looks to get in there. There's the flash, gets on top of Pays, and they will be able to get that hostile takeover out of Carrier, but it's dodged so beautifully by Gio. He does go down in the end, but it's a trade of 80 carries. Ona's going to go down as well, as Willa surviving for a very long time, but it's Faker with the cleanup. He comes in, takes down the enemy jungler, and it's a 3 for 2 in favor of T1.
Pushing T1 around the map. It's really impressive to watch, despite the gold deficit, despite that loss in the last team fight. They are just going to keep trying to force, and it's working well so far at the start of this Dragon. Rich rotates down, Doran isn't here. I don't think this fight is possible for T1. It's not playable. Free Dragon.
Yep, they do just give it up.
Dragons later, our comp is starting to really gain some steam here. This 4-kill Aurora. Looking for UCAL.
Yeah, between worlds goes Faker, and dead UCAL in an instant. Willa was thinking about trying to back him up, but he was, he was already on the floor.
That's complete. He just has so much burst. They know that even if Willa ults, that they're pretty safe to do this. They also had Faker's flash. They can just drop this and take this mid turret now.
Yeah, should be able to. There is the Rift Herald going down, so that is going to be Shelly charging in. Pays is going to turn up yet again, as the Crystalline Overgrowth does go down. And DRX move forward. They should be able to take down this outer turret. Okay, there's a Cataclysm from Ona. Gio still inside it. Hostile takeover, and they're just fighting each other. As Gio survives for such a long time. It is Faker going down first. Yukal collects that kill. Still has his little shield available, but it is 2 on the floor on the DRX side, and T1, they successfully avenge their turret.
They're going to actually try to just send it on this Baron, and I think positioning is going to be everything.
That's a bit crazy, as in goes Doran looking for the angle here. Yukal, as soon as someone's in melee range, there's just not a whole lot he can do. And T1, they stayed on this Baron. It's down to 50%. Ando looking to make his way in. Rich just being frustrating here as they show Doran the door. He gets onto this Baron one more time. It's down to 3,000.
6 seconds on Rich's ult, but he doesn't have it.
Yep, the barrel comes in, and that is going to be Pays locking down this Baron. T1 and 20-minute Barons, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty impressive. And now Gio looking to try and take down Pays. That is Carrier also falling. And Rich,
and the TP.
He's teleporting. He wants to try and find this angle. Doesn't have the ulti, but he does have barrels, and he takes down Pays. Doran now underneath his turret is having to deal with this very large Gragas. Owner is there to defend, and I don't know whether it's quite going to be enough because DRX are closing in. There's Willa. Down goes the Gwen. The Gragas is going to be sacrificed, though, and Faker turns up. And this is just a bloodbath. It's a mess on both sides.
Sealed the deal, but enough time is bought. Gio finally shows back up here. Rich flashes in, then goes for the TP to cut them off, and just barely there's some heroics from Jarvan and this Aurora. Owner and Faker save them.
And in the meantime, we have even more stuff happening. Owner goes in, Willa down very, very low, but he has now a door to try and keep him safe. The culling is just going to split off this fight as the Fate's Call does go down, but Carrier not actually going to utilize it. There is a soul point on the table here for DRX, but T1 have started off this Dragon, and Ando looking a little worse for wear. Some big buttons on cooldown on both sides, but it's Willa being so low that means that it's just impossible.
I mean, DRX, it feels truly they've reached their expiration date with this composition, and yet they just keep trying to find these angles, and sometimes they nearly do. They make it so close, they make it so competitive. This Baron, relatively low on the power play here. 20 seconds left on it, it's only at 400, but the fights they keep taking, these scrappy ones with the aggressive scatters, the Vi ults, the crazy Gragas casts from Rich, it gets tougher and tougher as these resistances start to come through on any Mountain Drake picked up, as these items start to come through on these fed carries. I mean, this Gwen is so big, almost too big to fail already. Looking for the ult now, and Owner's there. They're going to have to just send it mid, I think.
Yep, DRX looking to try and go for a bit of a cross-match because they know that Rich is just very, very dead. Doesn't have the cast, doesn't have a chance, and he is going to be taken out for Rich, so he can get anywhere he wants in 20 seconds time. And teleport going to be used here for Yukal to try and defend this outer turret, but I mean, there's 4 people here. I don't know about this one, as Yukal just put immediately into the Cataclysm after the flash. He is able to throw down a bunch of damage, but Pays is able to shrug it off, and it's a double kill for Doran.
It wasn't the right call to look for the TP defend of the turret. They didn't have the tools. If they had a Gragas there, who's going to spawn now, I think that would have been a realistic option. He's got Body Slam, he's got the cask, he appeal. They thought the Braum would be enough. It absolutely was not. And as a result, it's a dead Syndra and a second turret to fall in the mid lane. And there is no defending this one. T1 pulling ahead massively now, 5.5k the advantage.
Puts it down now as they look to try and get rid of this turret first. Scat of the Week does come in. There's the culling as Doran goes golden, but they just take down the turret. In the meantime, teleports coming in from everywhere, and Ona from over the wall. Gio able to dash out of the way again from some more buttons, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Willa is also limping out of the fight. Yukal takes down Faker, though. DRX, the rest of them are just melting. Ona going to grab a double. Doran dashing towards Yukal to get rid of him again. Here on DRX, it is another Baron for T1.
DRX have been scrapping and fighting and forcing this whole game. They've been trying to hold on to the tempo. They've been trying to wrestle it back. Already picked up. And I think that was the final fight. I think that was the game-winning moment for T1. Great defense. The Death Cap Faker was desperately trying to put together. He's got it now.
Yeah, and so does Yukal, but I just don't feel like it's going to
not the same
have
kind of impact.
Same gravity. Exactly right, Wolf. And yeah, just a few thumbs up as the inner turret is going to inevitably fall.
Gio does not have flash, so difficult for him to layer damage in. It's a winnable fight, even without Faker, and if you just sit back and lose the turrets, okay, hold on, Owner.
Yeah, Scat of the Week is going to connect. Owner is going down very, very low. Does have GA, and it does get procced by a big old cask from Rich. But still,
I think Owner might be okay with that because Faker's back now and they still have a minute left of Baron. They can now siege the base freely, and with no cast to deal with, it's pretty safe.
yeah, exactly right. And they should be able to now get rid of this inhibitor turret. The rest of them had to go back to the fountain because they were looking worse for wear after that fight. They do get their health bars back though. DRX not giving up without a fight. As Willa diving on in. Good handshake there from Carrier, but the culling is going to soften him up. There's the Fate's Call, has to be thrown through as T1 considering a re-engage. Scatter the Weak connects, lands onto Faker here, who takes, once again, so much damage. Hostile takeover, tries to get avoided, cease and desist though, onto Pays. The GA comes through now for Willa, as now Rich moves away from Doran to try and join the rest of the fight. And they're chasing, but these health bars are so low, and Pays is so mobile. It's such a difficult moment.
Oh, Doran's 2 levels up. They're going to try to collapse on him here, but good luck.
Yeah, the needlework comes out. Out goes Willa because he knows it's only a couple of those, and he's just dead. The rest of DRX are able to navigate it, but look at this, T1, they were the ones running away before, and now they are looking to try and take down another inhibitor in the enemy base.
I mean, DRX from a thread, hanging on in this game, looking for Pays now.
I think he's just dead. The handshake goes wide, the bailout doesn't work, and now they're going to chase down Carrier. There's the Scatter the Weak, and Force of Will be able to take him down.
I mean, a few more kills, and they could actually turn this game around in Scrappy, but they have been so well coordinated, and this is without Joker's help this time.
Yeah, no more coach voice available unless they start using T1's coach voice options. Because I don't know whether they've used too many of those. As Willa now starting a fight once again. There's the cast, but down goes Willa. Owner is still standing as Gio trying to finish him off. Faker goes between the worlds and will be able to get himself to safety.
Should be able to get here, no problem. And also has his ultimate to push, stop the push.
Yeah, Rich, oh my goodness, that burst damage absolutely insane. As Doran diving on in, Willa looks for the angle, great handshake onto the Vive. Doran thrown around like a ragdoll. Great use of the body slam, but Doran should still be able to kill him. He goes golden just to buy some space, but Ucal's dead. Both solo lane is down, and T1 have decided that it's time to win. As Gio not able to keep himself alive this time. It's Pays that locks down the kill, and this time it's only Willa that survives.
And top damage in the fight goes to Jarvan for T1.
That's insanity.
And unfortunately, the fight was a bit disjointed there for DRX. It needed to be a desperate one. Willer's ultimate on the wrong side. And T1 walk away victors on what was a closer game that I think that it had any right to be.
Oh dear. Willer is very, very dead. Nexus turret's going down, and T1, they will finish this one off 29-15 in a 34-minute game. Are you not entertained? As this was a bloodbath from game 1.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.